So here's my request. You haven't learned it yet, but...
Oh, right.
He wants that in 15, 16 without a drum, probably.
Let's process slowly. You next to me?
No.
Thank you for escorting Dennis. Will you all support Dennis in this marriage and accept Alethea into your family? If so, please reply, we do.
We do.
Yay.
I'll just stand up. Oh, okay. And I would please ask the rest of Dennis's family to please stand at this time. Everybody didn't stand up, so.
Okay. Yay.
Okay.
Yay.
And thank you for escorting our lovely bride. I will ask that you don't have any, is there anybody else here? Oh, okay. Oh, cream of the crop. Wonderful. Will you all support Alethea in this marriage and accept Dennis into your family? Please reply, we do.
We do.
Thank you. You may sit down. I'm now going to offer prayer. Great Spirit, Creator, Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, Wirakocha, Devi, Jehovah, Allah. You have so many names, and you that is nameless. We gather together today in recognition of our unity as a family and community. We share joy in supporting these two people as they make their pledges to one another. Bless them in their new life together. May they always feel loving support and nurturing, with hearts full of warmth and gratitude. Amen. Greetings. What a beautiful day. A beautiful place. Here we are at Kelly Point Park Meadow in the City of Roses, Portland. This park is the location of the confluence of two major rivers, the Columbia and the Willamette. Alethea, who has lived in Washington State for over 37 years, is represented by the Columbia. And Dennis, who's lived in Oregon for his entire life, is represented
That's the Willamette.
by the Willamette. Didn't I do that?
That's the confluence.
Did you notice that they entered from the direction of their respective rivers, carrying bits of water from their rivers? We are here today to support them and witness the wedding of these two beloveds as they make their own confluence of their lives and flow onward together. Let me introduce Dennis's family. His mom, Chloe, Godfrey, of course. His eldest sister, Bobby, and husband, Don. Nephew, Scott. Daughter, Shayla. And I, at this time, would ask, is there anyone that I don't have that?
We do.
And who? You're Nikki. And anybody else?
Yes. Yay. Son, Kaiser, yes.
Okay.
Great nieces and nephews.
And then I believe there's a nephew, Gabe.
He's not with us today.
He's not
We're
with us.
thinking of him.
And you have a sister, Sherry, and a nephew, Adam. And they couldn't attend today either, but
Nope.
they're in our thoughts.
They are.
Absolutely. And then, this is Dennis's additional family. His heart-adopted daughter, Andresa Wells, her mom, Karen Wells, and her partner, Priscilla Carson, who was once married to Dennis. Thank you for escorting Dennis. It is fitting that you give him away to Alethea. She considers you to be sisters, thus the true meaning of extended family. And let me introduce Alethea's family. Her father, Walter Jones,
Yes.
her youngest sister, Gwen, Gwen's partner, Celia, all from Whidbey Island, Washington. The middle sister, Diana, and her girls could also not be here today, but we are thinking of them as well. A special day like today would not be complete without giving mention to those who have passed. We remember Alethea's mother, Karen Jones, who passed in June of 2006, and Dennis's father, James Godfrey, who passed in October of 2007. As you can see, Dennis and Alethea share a wide circle of friends and extended family. Amongst this eclectic group, there are Sufis and psychologists, priests and priestesses, folk dancers and fire dancers. There are pizza eaters and political activists, druids, drummers, and dervishes. There are tree kissers, animal lovers, vegetarians, and omnivores. A good portion are musicians. And the reason why you are here is because you are all variations of the divine beauty of the human community, our extended family. So thank you for being here. So, who are these two people? Alethea spent 37 years living in Washington, 21 of those years on Whidbey Island near Seattle. She had her own business, either sewing or painting houses, was active in her community, and developed herself as an artist. She continued to dabble in her music and earned a BA in history. She is presently in graduate school for her master's in transpersonal psychology, where she will soon have her own practice. She plans to lead workshops and seminars on art and psychospirituality. Alethea studies the historical and indigenous spiritual traditions of the world's cultures and enjoys finding the commonalities. She spent a month in the Andes Mountains of Peru in '06 in shamanic initiation process to become a pago. Now she is training to become a samazan of the Mevlevi Dervish order. She has performed marriages herself as a certified celebrant with the Celebrant Foundation and Institute of North America. She enjoys singing almost anything: jazz, folk, Balkan, Turkish music. She considers making art a spiritual practice and loves to love Dennis. She tries to live in conscious unity with her source. Dennis has lived in Oregon his entire life. As a teenager, he discovered music by learning to play the organ. He played in many bands and did some touring. He met Chris Hinkie, who became his lifelong friend and fellow musician. When Dennis went back to college, he earned 2 degrees in computer science, but still continued to love his love of playing music. While in school, he was captivated by the odd rhythms of Eastern European folk music. He started with dancing, then switched to playing authentic Balkan instruments. When he and Priscilla were married, they went traveling to the Balkans, where he purchased his favorite instruments: a Bulgarian gudalka, a tambura, and a kaval. Priscilla played the gaita. It's like a bagpipe. First bagpipe. Dennis played in many ensembles and bands through the years. He helped to found the Balkan Festival Northwest, organization that produces Balkanalia every summer. He leads a 6-piece band called Kafana Club and is a member of a 4-piece ensemble called Meydan that plays Balkan and Turkish music. Dennis and his friend Chris and Sally, joined by Alethea, play classical and devotional music for Sufi events. One of those events is where Dennis met Alethea.
You're a busy guy.
Retired from the computer industry, all he really wants is to play music continuously, as much as possible. For Dennis, his spiritual practice is giving of himself through his music. If he can make people happy, then he is happy. Now, I'm sure all of you want to know this. Tell us, how did the two of you find the time to meet and fall in love? It's amazing. Well, I'm going to tell you a little bit about that.
Can you put
Perhaps
your
it's
shawl
the
on?
plague of certain baby boomers like myself, but I'm a sucker for the movies. I watch them, remember them, quote them, basically incorporate them into my life view. When I first heard Alethea and Dennis's story, a film, of course, came to mind. The theme that came to me was of 3 women friends watching South Pacific and listening to Some Enchanted Evening. One woman is saying, that is just make-believe. They just tell us that love stuff to torture us. But the other woman says, no, it has to be true. The lyrics came from someone's experience. You remember the lyrics, don't you? Some enchanted evening, you may see a stranger. You may see a stranger across a crowded room. For Alethea and Dennis, that enchanted evening was April 30th, 2006. Beltane Eve on Whidbey Island. An evening of Sufi music and zikr, a last-minute tour for Dennis. Alethea simply arranging food on a table. The next night, the enchantment continued in Seattle. She was late to the event, a similar one as the evening before. Dennis was playing music on the stage with his eyes darting around the room, trying to find her. Then she entered the room, and their eyes met, their hearts leading across the crowded room. There were obstacles, like ferry schedules to meet, 200-plus miles between their homes, not to mention the Columbia River, the Puget Sound, and lives already in place. And somehow you know even then, that somewhere you'll see them again and again. With emails, phone calls, trips back and forth, we are here at the union of two rivers, union of two states, union of two people who asked for and received enchantment. Who can explain it? Who can tell you why? Fools give you reasons. Wise men never try. Well, perhaps wise men won't venture to give you a reason, but this wise woman will. Enchantment. You betcha. When a woman comes to her source with earnest desire, and when a man, inspired by the quietness of a season, asks Santa for his heart's longing, the universe will conspire and magic will happen. Having requested this enchantment and received it, I charge you both with the last verse of the song. Once you have found her, never let her go. Once you have found him, never let him go. You both have come here today to take what might be considered the final step in your commitment process. You have shared your love and dedication with one another. You have been handfast within your tradition and community, and now before your friends and family, you have come together to make your vows of union again. You have chosen Confluence as the symbol of this day and of this marriage. The great Columbia and the north flowing Willamette come together, and they make a mighty continued flow to the Pacific Ocean. Neither waters are diminished. On the contrary, they are strengthened and magnified in volume and force. It's a lovely picture of marriage, really. Not two people losing themselves to become one, but two people bringing their individuality and their strength together in union to create something unique, a marriage. The magnified volume and force on life's journey. And now take each other's hands and look into your beloved's eyes. If you were to write a poem to your beloved, what would be the words? Perhaps it would be some of these.
I love you, not only for what you are, but for what I am when I am with you. Not only for what you have made of yourself, but for what you are making of me. I love you for the part of me that you bring out. I love you for putting your hand into my overflowing heart and passing over all the foolish, weak things that I can't help. And for drawing out into the light all the beautiful belongings that no one else has looked quite far enough to find. I love you because you're helping me to make of the dreams of my life not a thought, but a reality. Of the works of my everyday, not a reproach, but a song. Yes, a love song. The words of Khalil Gibran.
Dennis and Alethea have written their own marriage vows for you to hold witness
Very
to
nice.
now.
In my bosom.
Holy.
First,
Am I first?
if you want to be. You hold it. It's a handy place.
I promise to hold your hand. It is by your side where I wish to stand. I will be kind and courteous, and with twinkle in my eyes, I will be naughty and mischievous. I promise to run my fingers through your hair and softly stroke your face so fair. Whether in or out of fashion, I will love you with never-ending passion. I love loving you.
You can't kiss yet, right? We have to hold off from the kissing. You can't kiss yet.
No.
Okay. Hmm. I learned that from my mother. She had a lot more storage space than I did. This is the condensed version, but... Oh dear, I have to get this out again. Here's another one. This is good. Oh gosh, there's too many things.
Can you help?
I promise to care for our union in the best ways I know how. And I will do this by nurturing and supporting you in your needs and desires for self-discovery and personal growth, especially in your music. I will confide in you and be truthful and honest with you. I will share with you my innermost secrets, my wounds, my dreams. I will gladly flow along in the changes of life with you together and be with you when things are wonderful and when things are not so wonderful. But I will always be with you. I love you and adore you. And I admire you greatly for your heart, your generosity, and your enthusiasm for life. And I gladly promise myself to you to be your lover, your companion, your wife. A confluence of my life with yours. You can't kiss yet. Baby.
As a token of their love and a seal to their freely given vows, Alethea and Dennis have chosen to exchange rings. The circle of a ring has no beginning and no end. It represents the undying love and represents a seal to exchanged vows. Since time began, the circle also represented the sun and the moon, alchemical symbols of the masculine and feminine in the cosmos. As priestess, I bless them and ask that the source of all bless them. And now, I give them to each of you. You can take hers. To bless them with your love and protection for your mate.
These rings are handmade. By our very good friend